Hi guys. Sorry about that. I'm going to get a recording button.
Yes, you should have a
It's all going well. Oh, I hope my mic's not on. It is.
Are we on? Are we live right now? What's happening?
Hey, there's both our audio. We're here.
Hey, there's both our audio.
Yeah, I hope you guys liked that new intro we got there.
Pretty snazzy. What do you think about the new intro? Old Zach just crushing it.
I like it. It reminds me of the good old days of like a virtual typewriter,
Yeah.
or some may call a computer.
Right.
I don't know, man. I miss the days I weren't alive, but those good old days.
Right.
We
yeah,
had a
back when
typewriter.
slavery.
Not
Sorry,
yeah, not that far back. Just the age of rampant sexism. No, ugh. I'm talking about the '80s,
Yes.
where it's like we still had technology, and technology was cool and hip, but like
Did we start controlling our minds yet?
yeah, and like the internet wasn't a thing, so you could still have like conversations without someone pulling out their phone. It's like, well, actually, it's this.
Right.
Like, actually, people weren't really around. Like, there still were, but it wasn't as readily available,
Yeah.
which is the most infuriating type of person. Like, I'd love a good conversation where you both don't know everything about something, so you can talk about it and just be like, I don't really know, instead of someone's like, you're wrong and this is why.
Right. I feel like so many conversations in this day and age where we have our computers in our hands are just like spiral into not just fact checking, but like they go too far in the direction the conversation shouldn't go.
Yeah.
Like it's like no, we shouldn't be talking about pangolins for 3 hours. Like we should have moved on to other strange reptilians. Like you know what I mean? Like it's why are we still talking about this thing? Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you. I crave the conversations with people that desire like an elevation of the conversation, not like a spiral of it, you know?
Well, it's also like there is that whole conversation of, which we'll probably get into the prompt for last week, of like they get into with Hitchhiker Guide of like what happens when we get to the end of all questions.
Right.
Like what happens when we find the last answer. I think that's more or less like we're not there yet, but there's a lot of people who
Sure.
are hitting that point. It's like, oh, I know this, I know this, I know this. So they're just stretching it out, and it's like, give me
Right.
more of that one thing.
Right. Yeah, that doesn't actually satisfy us at all.
Yeah.
I don't think it doesn't but it is similar. It's almost like we're replicating what happens online, which is a constant scroll through information that we imagine at the bottom of which is going to somehow satisfy us, and it's just not. Welcome to the finale of
Anyways.
our week-long prompt.
Yeah. What is this show?
We've got Tom Breck here. My name always escapes me, but this is
Change
Prompt.
it every week.
We're here for our creative community event, and we do this every Sunday. This week has been a little bit different. Last week I really wanted us to try a week-long prompt. Usually we get together and we break out into small groups over Zoom, and people converse for exactly 30 minutes because Tom is a stickler for the rules, and that's why we love him.
I love a good time clock. Just go tick, tick, tick.
It's his favorite. He just is staring at it the whole time. And people go into a room for 30 minutes, and they come out, and there's some art to be shared. And what we did this week is had everyone do that exact thing over a week span. How many days is that? 7, I think? I forget.
half a fortnight.
I've been out.
Yeah, David, can you tell us what your illnesses were?
Okay, so it's like you can't even have like allergies in 2020, without like getting in trouble. That's how I feel, really. But this was something weird. Like it started off with a really gnarly headache, and had a little bit of a fever, and because the Baker home and the Seahusen home, the Seahusen Barter home, are like one cohesive unit right now. We're like sharing information. It's hilarious. Like, are you guys still like wiping off your groceries? Yeah, okay. It's like we're sharing one biome right now, and it's awful, but also kind of fun to work out the strategy of it all. Anyway, so I hit them up right away when I'm feeling anything. And they're like, okay, we all gotta get COVID tests, and Troy's gotta cancel the session, we gotta do this, and we're just restructuring everything because we're kind of like one household right now. And so we all go get tests the next day. They're all negative. If you've ever had a COVID test, it is just such a fun time. Like, I can't say enough about it. Like, you're just sitting there in your car, waiting for a doctor. I had the nicest doctor come. And she's just like, I rolled my window down, I had my mask on, she had her mask on, and she just like...
And then you guys started making out. It was great.
We just like, we're making up before the COVID test. She was just
And then she pulled back and it's like, you're
done.
negative.
I'm over. I don't
That was the
care
test.
How much money they're gonna throw at me. I don't give a fuck what the pharmaceuticals want. I'm just gonna make out with every. So I got the COVID test. They actually have to make out with you now to like receive.
Mhm.
The
Well, that's the test.
Viral load.
It's on the tongue.
Right. The test is on the tongue. Don't forget it. Oh my gosh, we're way off the rails here, but yeah, I've just been out. I've been real out, and then it like morphed into like a stomach thing.
Ugh.
Slowly over time, like abdomen, like it was in my liver, and I don't even drink. Like I drink like twice a month, like lightly. Like it's just this weird thing that's happening. So I'm gonna do the responsible adult thing, and I'm gonna go see my practitioner this week, because something's seriously messed in my bod, and I hate it.
But you're feeling better
Which
now?
brings us. Oh my gosh, I'm feeling so much better now. I mean, I'm under these stage lights, as you can see here, so I'm a little sweaty, but...
I have my whole studio right in front of me. You guys can't see it right now. My director's right over there.
Could you move the lights, please? Just a little... I'm a little hot. Speaking of a little hot, are you ever going to get curtains?
So I'm going to peel back the curtain. Haha.
Okay.
Troy texts us like, you guys should talk about this and this. Talking about curtains is like walking up to someone at a party and going, "That's a nice coat," and it's just like sitting there, and it's like, yeah, I ordered curtains because I realized this camera makes me look sickly ill with the light coming in. What is more interesting? I look horrible.
But you don't look great.
I never look good. This is just a fact of life.
Whoa, hot takes. I handedly disagree. You're a very good looking man.
I also don't take compliments well. So next, last
Anyway,
night.
space time.
Speaking, well, before we go on to that, speaking of drinking,
No.
I'm going to tell you how competitive I am. Every once in a while, like my friend hosts like a trivia night, which I happily like join because I love trivia. Um,
Okay.
and my head is just like a collapse of useless knowledge. Like
Okay.
I would be
I can respect
horrible,
that.
horrible at,
You're a man of the internet.
yes, I'm horrible at Jeopardy, but like when it comes to like useless facts about The Hobbit, I'm great.
That's why you don't like people having phones because you know so much.
Yes, I
Ah.
want to be the smartest man
You
alive.
don't have to. You don't have to. Sorry, keep going.
But the best thing about this trivia night is you can get extra points by taking shots or like finishing a drink.
Yep.
So it always gets to the point where we're behind, and I will be the one that's like, okay, guys, I'll take one for the team. We're going to get 10 points this round. And it is so utterly just like the first round is great. We got this. We're all in the game. And by the third round, we're like, it has to be Marilyn Manson, right? That's all the answers. Oh, God.
Marilyn Manson.
And then it's like, by the time it's like, we don't know what these three answers are, but we need the points. We all kind of like on Zoom line up and it's like, okay, who's going to take the shot this round? And by the end of it, we're all just kind of like laying back and it's like, okay, at least we got second.
I feel like that's every trivia night that there's ever been. I've never been to like a bar trivia that isn't that like, yeah, here we
Oh,
go,
it's-
we're gonna fucking win this thing, and then it's like, how many questions are there? There's 12
It's like,
more.
oh my god, this isn't over yet.
Drink and be. I just want to be quiet with my friends now. Can we just?
Well,
be
it
quiet?
is. You can honestly tell the people who are the most competitive because they will be it from the beginning to end, and then there's everyone else is like, yeah, let's go, and then halfway through they're like looking at their phone and like doing other things on the side, or just like talking to someone about nothing, and it's like,
Oh my gosh, there.
this is perfect.
That reminds me. That reminds me. There's this spot in Simi. It's called Simi Valley, where I live, and it's a nice little suburb up north and west of the Los Angeles area, just so everyone knows. But there's this dope little spot called the Golden Nugget, and it's this
Mm.
dive upon dive upon dive bars, right? But they have like 60 bars on tap, and they actually have really excellent beer. Not that I would know, I'm not,
Ooh.
a drinker, but like all of my buddies were obsessed with beer and talk about the craft of it and just fucking like all the IPAs and all that bullshit. They just loved the spot. I love the spot, or used to love the spot pre being all done with carbs, because they had the greatest pretzels in
Oh,
the universe. Like,
God.
I'm not kidding you. They would mix their own pretzels every morning and keep them in this massive like warmer. And there was like garlic and butter and like all of these herbs. It's like my mouth is watering just thinking about them.
My mouth is watering right
Like,
now.
I'd go there for the pretzels, and not like and have like a half a beer. Like, oh yeah, can I have like a taster of? I'm
Yeah.
just like that guy. I tip good, I promise, but I'm just that guy.
I'll have a shot of beer.
I'll have a shot of beer. That's
Well, I'm the same way with drinking. It's like I really only like mixed drinks or like Guinness because beer itself doesn't
Yep.
like taste great to me and it's hard for me to finish. But I do have,
It's an
I
acquired taste.
yeah, I have Irish in my blood, so I'm like, yeah, I'm always down for like a drink or two,
Right.
even though I know it's not good for me, and also sometimes it just doesn't taste good.
So without further ado,
Anyways.
today we're getting together to share what we've made this week. Normally we only have 30 minutes. If you're just joining us, this is our creative community event called Prompt, and we'll give a word or a phrase. We've had Austin Wintry on giving an entire paragraph of the inspiration. Troy usually goes off. I went off last week. Tom had to calm me down.
And
but
I'm just
we
here.
Send out the prompt, and then our community has time, however long it is today. Like it's a week today. Create
Yeah,
something.
but last week we did something a little different.
Correct. And then we go into a Zoom chat and we'll all share it together. and that's exactly what we're going to do right now. So we're going to peace out and say goodbye to YouTube and say hello to Zoom, unless there's anything else to get rolling.
Yeah, probably just to summarize up, like for anyone who is joining us and don't know, didn't watch us last week, we had the prompt space time, and we gave everyone a week to work through it, collaborate with whoever they wanted, kind of like just on their own, like give them the time to do it. And now we are going to go over to Patreon, where we will send out a Zoom link where people can show us what they've done in this past week.
Right. So if you want to join us for that and all sorts of other fun things. Speaking of which, how was Friday night game night?
It was fun. I couldn't stay for long because I had stuff to do. But also,
Okay.
that being said, if people want to play games with us, like we're probably going to play Among Us again, Fall Guys, like scary games because it's October. So yeah, that's all over on Patreon. For people who are not part of Patreon but still want to share, follow us on socials. It should be in the description, and share it with us. We want to see what you guys made, and also we would love to share it.
Hell yeah.
Other than that, I think we hit all of it. I will be posting. I'll be posting the Patreon link in just a moment, and you guys can all join us there.
Do we have any questions before we go? Questions in the chat. Anybody have any? Go ahead
David,
and
can
throw 'em
you turn yourself up
Yes.
just a little bit,
up. Turn myself up.
or talk louder?
Is this?
Because you're.
is this better?
Yeah, that's perfect.
I'm turning myself up. I'm turning myself
Just up.
on.
Uh,
Turning. Sorry, no, I'm not. I'm not turning myself on.
That's right next to the
gross.
prostate.
Ew.
Anyways,
That's right next to the prostate. I'm gonna see if anyone's got any questions here. You two should play some more COD, Cold War. Yeah, that looks like a good time.
that was a lot of fun. I really don't like Call of Duty. I've realized that last night when I was playing
I don't
through
know
it.
either. Then if you absolutely need to try these pretzels. These pretzels will change your entire being, starting with the space-time part of your soul. Turn David up or Tom down and bring up the master. Ooh,
Listen,
thanks
we're
for that, Pyro.
we're just about the master's all the way up. Thanks for your suggestions.
The master of the universe is all the way up, so I'm just gonna talk a little louder and not be such a bitch. How about?
Listen, I don't have a mixer here. I'm going to get one. Everyone just calm down.
Troy's death count was 61. That's great. I'm so glad you were keeping track of that.
Blue.
It's amazing. Alrighty, awesome. Well, we will see you guys over at the Zoom chat. For anyone else, please come join our Patreon. We do all sorts of fun things that are only accessible there. Extra content, fun community events together like this one, and all sorts of integration happens through and for creativity. So yeah, come hang out with us. And for the rest of y'all relators, we'll see you on the Zoom lighters.
You turned very cockney there. Okay, bye everyone.